Hey y'all, it's Betsy, and today we're going to be doing a demo and review over the new Too Faced Gingerbread Spice Palette. I was super excited to get this. Actually, honestly, I was not that excited to purchase it. When I went and saw it online, I was like, it's nothing special. When I saw it in store, I was like, I kind of have to have that. Now, one thing I will tell you is this really does not smell like gingerbread spice. It smells like Play-Doh, which doesn't bother me because it reminds me of my childhood. And it has a lot of very beautiful, vibrant shades. I'm in love with this orange and the pink. I'm going to definitely be playing with those two colors today. So I guess let's go ahead and jump right in. Now I have the rest of my face done other than my eyeshadow because we were going to be playing today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my JH36 brush and we're going to dip into Figgy Pudding, this shade right here. I'm not one to do a lot of live swatches. To me, it's better just to kind of see how they perform on the eye. And this is the color that we're going to be using as the transition shade. It is just like a pinky, peachy nude. It is more on the warmer side, but it does have some pink to it. And I really like this color scheme in here, which I'm sure I can do every color that's in it with colors in my collection. I could probably almost dupe every color that's in this with colors that I have from Too Faced. But I like the layout, and I'm a sucker for scented makeup. I'm not sure who else is, but that is one thing I am definitely a sucker for. So now that that's on, I think we're gonna go into a smaller crease brush. We're gonna go with the JH31 brush, and we're gonna go ahead and dip into the shade Gumdrop, that vibrant pink right there. Now I have swatched a few of these, just playing with it, but I haven't applied any of it to my eyes yet. And so far, that is some pigment. I'm really, really liking these shades. I'm gonna be doing some headshots, so I don't wanna go for Christmas advertising and things like that. So I don't wanna go too super dramatic, but I don't want my eyes to disappear either. But see how nice and pretty that blends out? No patchiness. And I used my Milani eyeshadow primer and set it with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. And I'm actually wearing that shade Rustic again on my lips that I wore in Monday's video. I'm really liking that color, and it's good for a fall nude shade. And it's actually somewhat chilly here, that's why I'm in long sleeves. It has been about 65 was the high today, so for us that's pretty cold. Typically the lowest we get is maybe in the 30s. So that looks really, really pretty. I'm loving that shade. So let's go ahead and dip into a smaller, even smaller crease brush. We're gonna go with the JH40. And I think we're gonna go in, sorry, I called the pink shade earlier Figgy Pudding, and it is actually Looky at My Cookie. But we're gonna go into Figgy Pudding now, which is like this purpley pinky shade, to go ahead and deepen up that crease even more. Oh, that's really, really pretty. And for my shade of eyes, there are a lot of blue and a lot of green in the hazel. They will look different shades at different times. Purples really, really make the green pop. And I am getting a little bit of fallout, but nothing too bad. And I'm gonna go ahead and carry that purple shade, the Figgy Pudding, right on the outer half of my lid. And to me, this is a very, very wearable look, which a ton of these colors that are in this palette are definitely wearable. And now I'm just taking and blending everything together. I'm using my JH32 and just taking and softening all of the edges. There we go. Because as I've aged, and I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to tell on camera, I get creasing in my eyeshadow close to the inner corners if I'm not paying attention to how I blend. So I always like to make sure to go back and soften that, because I definitely don't want to age my eyes. Now, for what color of shimmer do we want to do today? Let's go ahead and swatch some. So this is spiced rum. It's kind of chunky, not too much of a fan of that. Spice of Life, that's very pretty. Ooh, a burn. Now that's really pretty. Now some of these shades are a little bit on the chunky side. That's Warm and Toasty, that gold shade. Let's see. Bake It Till You Make It. Oh Snap. Hot Toddy. Ooh, I like that Hot Toddy shade. I think that's what I'm going to use. That Hot Toddy right there. It is a duochrome pink and orange shift. Got a lot of gold in it. So what we're going to do to apply that one today is we're going to take the JH41 and we're going to apply that using some MAC Fix Plus. So just spritz your brush. Let's see if I can do it where you can see it on this camera, to be able to apply that. Because a lot of times when people say wet the shade, you may not understand what they mean, because we do it off camera. So that way we don't get MAC Fix Plus all over everything. Oh, that is really, really pretty. And I'm not sure if you can tell, but there is definitely a shift to that eyeshadow. That is probably my favorite shade that's in this palette. I would probably purchase it again, even if that were the only color I used. But as I said, I'm not sure everybody else buys their eyeshadow. I get suckered in. I'm a sucker for scented makeup, love it. Pretty packaging. See, and that adds just the right amount of brightness and shimmer without being too overpowering. And it really blends in well with the rest of the look. But I'm really not a fan of that spiced rum. Let's see if you can see on camera how textured that is. But everything else in here seems to be really pretty. Now I know some people have had issues with the Frostbite Me shade, but I don't find that one to be as chunky. That's the Frostbite Me shade. I don't find that one to be as chunky as the other shade. Let's see. Now just blend all those edges together. And I think the top is pretty much done. Let's go ahead and dust on some shadow for our bottom lashes. Now I'm gonna take the JH43, which is the smudger brush, and we're going to go ahead and line our eyes with the reindeer paws. And what I like to do is just kind of stamp and then smoke it out right there. There we go. Go ahead and do just a tiny bit on the as liner, as you can see on the outer of my top eyelid. That looks really, really good. I'm loving this color scheme. Now I'm gonna take the same JH40 that we used with that purple shade and just completely smoke out the lower lash line. Now I'm going to take the clean pencil brush. This is the JH33, and really soften up those edges. There we go. See how nice and smoked out and pretty that looks? For brow bone highlight, I'm using my JH39. And we're going to go into Spiced Eggnog, which is this champagne-y light. Oh, that is definitely more champagne-y than I actually thought it was. I thought it was going to be almost more of a light rose shade. So I think we're gonna tone that down a little bit with Powdered Sugar, which is this off-white shade right here. Even that shade, look how pigmented that is. So we're gonna take that same original blending brush and just kind of soften that all up. Much better. Now we still have the highlight without it being super dramatic. And that's one thing you can always do to go back and fix. Now we're going to dip into both. Actually, we're going to have to match it. So a lot of that, a little of that, then blend, blend, blend. The key to eyeshadow is you can make just about anything work as long as you can blend. And blending is really not that difficult. A lot of it is just practice. Just a tiny bit of practice. There we go. Go ahead and keep that just a little bit bright. Now I am going to go just into the Spiked Eggnog shade right there and use that as the inner corner highlight. That is gorgeous. And that's not even with a wet brush, and look how shimmery that is applying. Okay, so for the most part, that is the eyes complete. We'll throw on some mascara. I will do some lashes in just a little bit, but I'm not doing them on camera. You probably won't even see them at all in this video. There we go. And I'm using the Nars Audacious mascara. I really like it as a lower lash mascara, and I do like it for the upper lashes if you're using it with false lashes. But I don't think it's a great mascara on its own. And actually the bristles on this brush kind of drive me nuts. They're super duper pokey. So go ahead and finish that out. But see how nice and pretty that looks? Now, definitely in this palette, the shades that I've really played with that I'm really enjoying are, I love that spiked eggnog shade. It is absolutely gorgeous. The Figgy Pudding is beautiful as well. Gumdrop and Reindeer Paws. Frostbite's really pretty. And let's not forget Hot Toddy. That is my favorite shade. I really wasn't a fan, even just watching it. The spiked rum shade right here, this first one, as I said, even now, you see how much transferred off. It is just super textured. But they are, for the most part, really pretty. I think it is definitely a palette that's worth it if you're into scented makeup like I am. Dust away the fallout. And like Too Faced, I really like this palette. The color scheme is gorgeous. And if you're looking for a new kind of neutral where it's got a little bit of fun in it, this is definitely a palette I would recommend going with. Let me know if there's any other holiday releases you're interested in seeing me try. As I said, I am super duper excited to be playing with this. It looks stunning on. If you have any questions, leave them down below. We should be picking out our Disney Fast Passes this weekend. So if you know of any Fast Passes that I should book, let me know down in the comments for our Christmas trip. Other than that, check me out on all my social medias: Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, my second channel, which is Cuttin Corners Vinyl. And I guess that's it. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.